Hello everybody, this is Leslie of Silver Moon Creations and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing the first project share video for BeeBeecraft, and I will put all of the information down in my description box. But basically, if you have a channel here on YouTube and you have at least 100 subscribers, you can head over to their site and apply to see if you can be part of their YouTube program. And I have a coupon code, and that is Moon10, which I will put down here for you. And if you decide that you would like to head over to BeeBeecraft's website, and if you purchase anything, you will get 10% off of your total purchase by using my code Moon10. So some of the things that I had got from BeeBeecraft, I picked up because I want to try my hand at making little fairy dolls to sell in my Etsy shop. So I will link my first video up here for you. Hopefully I will remember. If not, I will have it linked in my description box. But it was about a month ago where I showed everything that I got from BeeBeecraft that they were nice enough to send to me. And so these are some of the items that I have used to make the prototype for a fairy doll. So these are what I use. I use this for the head. And these are 20 millimeters. They are on the smaller side. See, you can see in comparison to some of the ones like you can get in Michael's and stuff, these are quite big. So these would be for a lot bigger dolls. Like these I would use most likely for when I do tree toppers. I'm hoping to do tree toppers for the end of the year. But for the small little fairy dolls, these are perfect. And you get so many of them. And then I got from them the flexible cotton coated wire. Now I will say this is kind of thin for making the fairy doll body, which I will show you. So you really need to actually go up in size. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was either 22 or 24. And the gauge is, if I'm not mistaken, the higher you go is the smaller the gauge, and the lower in number is the stiffer in gauge. Like say, this one that I have here from another company, this one I want to say is either 20 or 22. This one has a lot more flex in it. Well, it's harder to bend. Let's put it that way. This one, as you can see, is very easy to manipulate, but that's good because when you want to wire wrap something, but you want to have the white coating on it, this would be perfect. And then I had asked for these. These are little round glass jars, and they have the hole on top. So what I did was I did a couple of them because I wanted to see, but I used some glitter, and this is the glitter that I used. This was from Michael's. This one is Recollections Chunky Glitter, and I don't know if it tells you the color, and it's magical. So if you're interested in this over at Michael's, but this is the one that I used because I really loved the color of it. And what I did was I used a tiny little funnel and I put some into here. And then what I did was I took foam, but the foam is actually a little too thick for it, so I'm probably going to use felt. And I think that's going to be the best bet for that. And then I had just stuck some of the glitter, but it's not really staying on the bottom. So I had done 2 of those, but there are different things that I kind of want to do with these. Like I would like to make this into a cauldron, and I will probably put like something on that, but we'll see for another video, maybe for our process video number 2. And so let me put this off to the side. Let me show you my prototype of my little fairy. So here she is. And what I did was, let me open her up here. So I took one of the thicker gauged wires, and what I did was I wrapped, well, I'm not sure where it is as of right now, but I have a very thin yarn, and what I did was I actually wrapped it around using my glue gun. I wrapped it around the actual piece here. See, like this is the size of the yarn that I used. It's very, very thin. And like I said, I just wrapped it around. I would put a little bit of glue here, and what I did was I just held it and I just went around just like this, close to one another. And then if you can always push it closer if you need. And then every once in a while I would put a little tiny bit more glue, and I just kept going all the way to the end. And that was how I created the piece of her fairy wand, I guess we would call it. Then I took the DMC Diamond Silver Metallic Thread, and what I did was I wrapped it around, and I made, as you could see, and then I wrapped it around the bottom of the base where the handle is, and I of course put a little bit more of the yarn here. I wanted to make it a little bit thicker. And then what I did was I took one of the little glass bubbles, and I bent over the wand like so. And then what I did was I placed this, I glued this on top. I glued this on top, kind of towards the base. So like right there. Hopefully you can kind of see that. So kind of towards the edge of where it goes straight down. And that's where I glued it. And then I just cut off the end. And then the other thing that I did was I again took this and wrapped it around the base quite a few times. And what I want to do with this is and I don't have it right now, but I have to cut some of the ribbon that I have, and I want to have like either ribbon dangles or something dangling from here. That's why I haven't done anything with this part right here, but I want to have something dangling off the edge. But like I said, this is a prototype for me, but I just wanted you to see how I created this part. And then for our little fairy here, as you can see, it's good because you really can pose her any way you want, because it is so flexible. I mean, you could have her waving, hi, you know. And then what I did was I have it so that she would be holding this, and because it's so easy to just squeeze together, it is easy for her to hold. I mean, once I decided to sell these, of course, I would glue that into place. And also too, I wouldn't make it as big. It would be a lot smaller. But I just wanted to show you that. And then basically how I make these is you take your wire, and I'm just going to show you with these because I think it's just a little bit easier. And you fold it in half based on the size of the doll that you want. So this one is just under 8 inches. So what you're going to do is then you would need 16 inches of wire and fold it in half, and then make sure that you have this that is really narrow up at the top, because you will need to place this in the hole so that you can put your head. Okay, and I'm showing the bigger one. And then what you do is you're going to place the arms, and then you just want to make sure that it's even. So you would take a ruler and you would want to make sure that it's even. So that's 4. And so that's not even. So you would push it over a little bit. And that would be 3.5. And that would be 3.5. So that's good. Just a little bit more. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you are going to take, again, you're going to take either a very fine yarn or, and the best one to use would be like a skin color. So I would say like a very, very pale pink. I did white. You can do like a peachy color. And then what you're going to do is you're basically just going to start, you're going to put a little bit of glue, and then you are going to start wrapping this around, and then you're going to go like this and then like this, because you want to capture the shoulders and the arms into place. And you're just going to keep doing that until it is sturdy, and then of course you're going to glue it so that it's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere. And that's how I did her. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing, where you are going to take either your embroidery floss, and you could use, like I said, any type that you want. But if you're not going to put a full dress on the actual fairy, then you just want to make sure that your skin color or your arms and legs that are sticking out, you have a halfway decent color. So like I said, for this one, I just have the white. And again, you're just going to wrap it around, and you're going to continue wrapping all the way around. And then you're going to glue it, and you do the same thing with the legs. And then what I do is for this one, I have a flower that I cut up, and I pulled it apart. So you have the flower petals that are all together, and you want to get the right size. Like this would be good for the bigger doll. And I will show you real quick. And if you would like me to try and do a tutorial like on the next one that I do, so please let me know down in the comment section if that is something that you would like to see. And now the way that I do this is I make sure that the petals are facing down, okay? And then you're going to cut. So you're going to fold this, and then you're going to cut into here. So you have, so that it's a little bit wider, okay? So you can get your wires and stuff down. And then this would be the base of her skirt. And then with this one, what I did was I had the top part, which had the leaves. So I was able to use that on the bottom. And then as you could see, she's got knickers. So I used the same color. And then all you're doing is you're using tulle. And this was the tulle color that I was using. And basically what you do is you cut it into small strips, and then you are just going to wrap it around, and basically you're giving her like underwear. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take based on this size doll, you're going to take a 6x6 piece of square tulle. Now I used this one that you get from the Dollar Tree. This is the one that you usually get, like and it has like the white specks on it that look like snow. And you fold it in half, cut, fold in half, cut, and then I would show you kind of how you put this together, because you do have to do a little bit of sewing. So there is a little bit of sewing involved. And then as you could see for her feet, I added some of the silver thread. But next time I would do where I would do it around the foot and then go up so that it looks like she has a strap. Where, like I said, this is a prototype. It's like, so she's not very, she's got little wonky pieces and stuff like that. But like I said, I think she came out really cute. And then for the hair, I used a little bit of lace on her body. So you cut a little piece of lace and you put that around her body. And then what you do is you're going to make where it is like a V, and the top part is going to be bigger, and then the bottom part where her waist is, because you want her waist to be smaller. Now you can either use felt or you can use your yarn, and you're just going to keep wrapping it around. So you want to give it bulk and dimension so that you are emulating that she has a figure. And then for her wings, what I do is I made these little prototypes for her wings. Now I only put the small wings on her. If I wanted to use like this style wing, we could certainly do it this way, whereas I would probably make this a little bit bigger. But also too, you could use this for a double where she's got top wings and the bottom wings. So say you would have this here and then you would have this here, but I would use that on a bigger fairy doll because it's just a little too much. And then what I used was, I have this organza fabric. And then what I did was I cut out my shape on here, folded it over because I needed to have it for both ways. So I cut that out. I sewed around with this thread again. So I don't know, hopefully you'll be able to see this, but if you can tell, I sewed around the wire. And this is this wire that I used. So I used this wire around and was able to manipulate the wire in the proper shape. And then what I did was I just finagled with it. So I knew I needed this to go in a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be perfect, believe me when I tell you. So I wanted to have a little bit of a indent here, and then I wanted the wing to come out here, and then I wanted a little bit of an indent here. And then as you can see, you will start to create what is going to start to look like wings, you know, and it's definitely not perfect, but you just continue to play with it until you like the shape that you have. And that's what I did with this one. And it's good with this because it's so pliable that it's easy to work with. And the other thing too is before you actually put this together, you want to make sure that this is going to fit on the back of the doll. And that's how I did that. And then I just put a couple little adornments and stuff on her. I put a little flower in her hair, and now her hair is just floss. And it's a whole strand. It's this whole thing of floss. You undo it and you separate it in the middle, and then you take a little piece and in the middle you tie it. And I just left it where it was not cut until I actually had it glued onto the doll. And then what you're going to do is you are going to glue this onto the doll. Okay. And you want to make sure you do it evenly. And then what I did was I braided both sides. And then what I did was I did an updo. So what I did was I took the braids and put up over her head, and then I put a little bit of glue and I wrapped it around the back part, as you can see here. And then I used one of my little flowers that was from Amazon that I had in my stash, and I put the green, since it matched, I thought, really well with the green that I had going on here. And then I took some of the bling that you get from like Dollar Tree, and I just put that around her head to kind of look like she had a crown. And that was it. So it took me a couple of days to do this. But she turned out really cute. Like I said, you cross her legs, you cross her arms. Like I said, you put, like, I want to do little witch dolls, which then I would have different things that she would be holding, like a broom and all different types of stuff. But you can have her now. You could put a face on her if you wanted. I did not put a face on her, but you can put little eyes, and you could put, and her head moves, so you can move her head. But she came out really cute. I'm really impressed with myself that I was actually able to, you know, follow a woman here on YouTube that creates these dolls, and I was able to watch all of her videos. So I will put a link to her channel down below in the description box, so that if you want to head over and take a look at her videos, because I was like enthralled by watching her create these dolls. And that was where I got my idea of what I wanted to do for BeeBeecraft projects. And then you can add beads and stuff on, and you could wrap beads around the actual wand and tie. There's so much that you can do. So I'm hoping to do quite a bit throughout the year, and I am hoping to sell them in my Etsy shop. So thank you all for watching me, and I hope this was something that you really enjoyed looking at. And like I said, if you're interested, please let me know down in the comment section if this is something that you would like to see me create. And if I get enough of a response, then I will certainly try and do videos the next time I create, like, say, the witch doll and stuff. But I will probably do another fairy doll, another small one like this. I have a couple of people who already said that they want them, so I will be making ones for them. And like I said, I can show you the process as I am working on them. So again, thank you all, and I will see you all for project number 2, which will be in just a couple of days. Thank you all. Bye-bye.